Hi guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another video on Conquerors Blade. So I just wanted to kind of quickly touch on this Season 1 thing that was announced a few days ago now. A few people have been asking me questions about it in the comments, so I thought it would be worth just sort of giving my opinion, just summarising very briefly what we know so far. So it seems a lot of people are comparing it to Fortnite. If we read down, it says Season 1, Seizing the Crown, coming fall 2019. We don't have a specific date on it yet. But if we scroll down to kind of the development mode, we see that we've got the pre-season update, which has got a range of changes, which we'll talk about in a minute. This seems to be just like an ordinary patch. Not an ordinary patch, it's a good patch, or a big patch, but this is just like the patch in the way that normal patches seem to work. Then we move on to Season 1. Things that I guess people have been latching onto are things like the Battle Pass and reward system. So it kind of sounds like you're going to have to be buying some sort of battle pass, or there's going to be some sort of access limitation or something to this. We're not really sure really how that's going to work. We've not had any more details on that. It sounds like it's going to be introducing new weekly challenges and new challenges to unlock different cosmetics and rewards. But we don't know what else it's going to really bring with it. We know there's going to be something around this Battle of the Golden City. From the muster your armies and see if you can seize the Golden City. It sounds like a Territory Wars type event. I wonder if Season 1 is going to become part of a Territory Wars style of event, whether there's going to be a clearing of Territory Wars, you know, a wiping of the map, or sort of a bit of a change into terms of how Territory Wars is implemented or something like that. Because this sounds like it's going to be a Territory Wars or an open world type situation, although it could be something that we have to do, i.e. the server has to complete a set of objectives or something like that, so it could be a server-wide type event. We don't really know a lot about these. They did provide a little video here, the announcement trailer, but it really doesn't really tell us a lot other than, oh, that's loud, other than being sort of nicely cosmetic and showing us some fancy little things and showing you some of the cosmetics and stuff. It doesn't really show you a lot of anything particularly very useful. So that's what we've got to look forward to in terms of Season 1. It's certainly going to be interesting. And sort of the relatively new challenges and competitive type event of this, if it turns out to be kind of what we're thinking, could hopefully bring some new people, but bring some of the older players back. Certainly opens up some possibilities. But let's move on, or backwards, to the pre-season update. This is what we're going to be getting first, and this is a bit of an overhaul of various things. If we go up here, we get a little bit more details about it. So, to prepare for the introduction of seasons, a pre-season update will be deployed. New features, quality of life fixes. So, new weapon options. This is a big change that people have been asking for a long time. People were asking for it back in closed beta, so I'm really pleased they've decided to implement this. It's going to be basically the removal of the gender lock, so that female characters can use the poleaxe, the bow and the spear, and male characters can now use the short bow and the dual blades. We're going to have full classes available to all genders. I don't know if they will. I suspect they probably won't, but it would be really nice if they did some sort of book which allows you to regender your character after this, or recustomize your character once this is introduced, because I'm sure there are people who picked female characters because they wanted to be dual blades, or picked male characters because they wanted to be poleaxe, when really they wanted to be the other way around, but because of the gender lock they picked their character specific. So it would be a nice little touch if they introduced just one, you just got one per character, so you had the option to redo this, to regender your character to either switch from male to female or female to male, but we'll have to see. We've got revamped user interfaces, menus and gameplay interfaces will be more accessible and intuitive. I mean, the game interfaces are pretty counterintuitive a lot of the time. They've slowly been working on things. Things have kind of improved over the time since back from the closed beta days, but they're still not perfect. They're still pretty not very user friendly, so yeah, that would be a nice one if they implement that properly. It's just important that they bug test it properly so people can access everything. I don't want any menus that don't work and buttons that are out of click and things like that, which if they're not careful could be something that happens. So yeah, generally positive one. Graphical enhancements, world will look even better than before. There's some lovely new cinematics to behold. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to entail in terms of graphical improvements, whether it means that it's going to be high resolution textures. I'm not really sure, but this could be in part down to the sign that obviously they've been trying, or they've stated previously, that Conquerors Blade, my.com's version of Conquerors Blade, is they've been trying to get hold of the Conquerors Blade Frontier build. I think this may be the first step of this, which is probably what's coming through. But yeah, new cinematics will certainly be interesting. Maybe that's new animations and stuff, because they can sometimes feel a little bit clunky at times. So that would certainly be a nice change. And we've got more to go and check out the full patch notes when that comes out. So yeah, hopefully we'll get the full patch notes out soon to find out a little bit more about what's going on, because I'd really kind of like to dig into that, see what's going to be changing. But yeah, so in effect, we've got the preseason patch. Don't really know a lot about that, other than what we've sort of just been told a little bit now. But I think this is going to be, oh, we know a bit more here, rebalancing of warlords, units, siege weapons, and economy. Oh, and economy. That's interesting. That's going to certainly open up a few things, possibly. So I think that's going to be more like the first step in heading towards Conquerors Blade Frontier. At least that's kind of my hope. We'll kind of just have to wait and see on that point, though. And then these two, well, I think are going to be more territory wars based changes, or it's going to be going into a slightly more Fortnite based way with this battle pass. So we don't really know, don't really have enough details, but it's certainly pretty interesting to see. And hopefully this is going to be the sort of stuff that's going to reinvigorate player numbers, because obviously the game's you know, slumped a little bit in terms of player numbers from the beginning. But even though there's still a pretty strong player base, it'd be nice to kind of start to get that growing again. So yeah, that's what we've got, and that's basically my brief summary of what the Season 1 Seize the Crown update is going to be about. We really don't have that much information, as I say, so we're kind of still a bit stuck waiting until we find out more. But yeah, I think it's a pretty exciting series of updates. I kind of hope that it's going to come out soon. I'm ready for some updates, particularly some of these general ops stuff, which would be really kind of cool. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today, guys. If you have any questions about this, or if you think I've missed something, or you found something else out that you think it's worth pointing out at me, do let me know in the comments down below. If not, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and I shall see you guys all on the next episode of Conquerors Blade.